Hey there guys, how's it going? So if you've been following the news, you'll know that the Japanese version of Kingdom Hearts Union Cross is now entered its offline only state. It's now, for all intents and purposes, unplayable, though it exists predominantly now as a cutscene only version of the game, a theater mode only version of the game, if you will. So they put out a little tweet announcement, very, very sad, very, very melancholy, but basically, and I guess spoilers for the finale of the game here, but I'll wave when I stop talking spoilers. Give me 5 seconds, but this almost seems canon right now, because if Data Daybreak Town has been reset and the Chirithies, which don't look like that anymore, cough cough, are more or less waiting to be awakened at this point. So yeah, it's just an empty, barren Daybreak Town full of nothing but a particular kind of spirit. So that's interestingly kind of canon there. But anyway, we'll talk about the game itself. No spoilers, spoilers are done. But yeah, we'll kind of get into the game now. But yeah, very, very, very sad, melancholy. We were streaming right up until the final moments, and at 10 a.m. on the dot my time, 10 a.m. on the dot Japanese time, the game completely was offline. There was no Halo 2 keeping the servers offline for those last few people that remained in the servers. No, it was completely done and dusted. Which, I mean, it makes sense. They obviously did not have the pedigree that something like Halo 2 back in the day did. But yeah, well, let's jump on over to the app itself, and this is basically what we're going to be treated with. So. We'll go right to left here. So if we try and go into Dark Road, we'll be told basically, no, come back in September. It's saying that the game itself will be playable when the game updates to its offline only state, which, according to the notices, is still September. I don't necessarily know if we can trust that. Again, I'm thinking that the whole Union Cross itself was meant to be wrapped up by April. And at that point, they said, okay, Dark Road itself will come in September. We've now eaten up 2 and a bit months of that proposed development time to be working on the finale of Dark Road. So if they want to get it done by September still, they've now got 2 months less to work on it, aka the quality is going to be drastically reduced. Or they want to keep the quality up, in which case, presumably, the development time will take a bit longer. So I don't know what's going to quite happen there, but as far as we know right now, September is still the date. The middle option here is basically a refund information. So if there are any paid jewels that you have that you would like a refund for, this is basically the process of trying to get them refunded. So there's some terms and conditions on the side here, some information about that. But basically it's saying that, yes, the game shut down obviously the 17th of June 2021. And this is the total amount of paid jewels that you have. And I believe it's in your inventory still. So if you went through and spent them all before this time, spent all the paid jewels, there won't be any left in here. Even if you have a current jewel balance, which obviously I have a jewel balance still, but I never had any paid jewels, so you can't get obviously a refund for jewels you never paid for, the ones that were given out freely. But any jewels that you paid for, you are entitled to a refund for. There's information about that in the settings itself in the app, and I'm not obviously quite sure on how that breaks down, so I wouldn't want to give any false information, but yeah, there is a process to try and get a refund if you still have jewels in your inventory that are unspent. But yeah, let's go into the app itself and kind of talk about the meat of what is left in the game. So I guess we'll work top to bottom here. You can choose your Keyblade and any level of your Keyblade to equip, and we'll talk about the point of that in a second. But yeah, let's say you want to have level 2 Starlight, or you want to match Kingdom Hearts 3. I guess that's as close as you can come. Well, no, sorry, what am I talking about? Level 1 is as close as you can come. What am I talking about? And basically, yeah, you can sort of dress up your key kit however you want them to. Obviously, there's not much point in doing that apart from the theater mode itself, but we'll get into that very soon. But it is nice to see that all the options are available. There was, the chance that they wouldn't be bothered with it. And again, I haven't seen some of these designs since pretty much day one of the update that gave the Keyblade itself. Because obviously it was very, very easy to upgrade from level 1 to level 2, and honestly to level 3 for a lot of the Keyblades. And I've not seen anything but level 4 in at least probably a year for all the Keyblades. And like some of them, like Treasure Trove, level 1, I've probably not seen that since literally day one of the app. Like, it was very, very easy to get to level 2. But yeah, good to know we can do that. So obviously, as well as our Keyblade, we can change our outfit. There are a ton of outfit styles here, and I wouldn't be right in saying exactly how many of them made it into the game. There's a guy called Spin Dash, who you might have seen replying to almost all of the tweets that the Kingdom Hearts global Twitter ever put out. I'll leave a link to his Twitter in the description. I wouldn't be surprised if he's doing a comparison on exactly what pieces of outfit made it into the game. But you'd be very happy to know that no matter what union you're currently in, you can select every single piece of union armor. I know that was a big request for a lot of people, and sure enough, it's all in. I'm potentially going to go back and re-record some different stuff, given that Yeah, I only ever had access to Leopardus in my global version, and of course didn't have access to any in the global in the Japanese version here. But yeah, very, very cool that I made it in. Like I said, I don't know exactly what made it in. Some may have made it in that I don't know about, or didn't make it in that probably should have, but there's some crossovers, like the Record Keeper crossover right here. So yeah, I'm not going to go through and name every single one of them, but yeah, there's a decent selection here. Now you will notice that the pet is gone. There is no possible way of customizing the pet, which will bum a lot of people out, I'm sure, but yeah, as far as I can tell, there's no way of customizing the pet. That is gone forever. And in the one cutscene that it appears in, it will just be just a regular default pet. So that's a bit of a shame, but shucks. Yeah, there we go, little key kid shucks. So you can tap on the key kid and make him do some animations, which I guess is a nice little thing. We can rename them, and we can change our union, which will obviously show up in some certain cutscenes that will be important for. Obviously, our name will get spoken quite a lot, and the union that we are in will determine who we fight in the Keyblade War, as well as determining basically which foreteller shows up at certain points. And lucky last year, we can change our title, which, as far as I can tell, will only matter for this scene, literally right, like for this screen, I should say, literally right here. It will not make any difference at any other point. Like, you will never be able to see your title apart from, I guess, on the main menu right there. But yeah, we can see it right here. Changes wherever we want. Okay, very, very cool, I guess. The main meat of this is, of course, the Classic Kingdom. Thank God the Classic Kingdom made it now. Yeah, we get the 5 mini-games that I bet half of you forgot were even in the game, and I certainly did, because they're only accessible through the menu you get to in the sub-menu once upon a time, and from here, I don't know what they were planning with the X-Trays mode, but obviously it never happens. But yeah, we still get 5 of the Classic Kingdom mini-games if you had a hankering to play them. And then lucky last is our information itself. So basically, if you hit save on the main menu at some point, whatever information you saved at that point will be basically brought here, the latest version of that. So I don't know when the last time I saved is, honestly. Probably maybe a couple days before. I've got 142 days played, so it might have been right before I started streaming live at the last time. That actually was probably what I did, yeah. And we'll basically just have a breakdown of all your stats that are available in the game. If you play the regular version, well, if you played the normal version of the game, it was accessible basically if you clicked on your character, then swipe to the right, you could see all your stats available here. So at least they're all preserved. There is some memory of your character. But if you ever delete the app from your phone or your device, whatever, and then try and reinstall this app from the offline, alrighty, look at him go. If you ever try and reinstall this app from the App Store at that point, there's no record of your data saved anywhere. So I guess just be careful of that. There's probably you could probably weasel out exactly where the save data is stored on your device and potentially back it up that way, but obviously I haven't looked into it yet. I might look into it when the offline version hits for global, and maybe I'll post about it then. But yeah, of course, the main meat of the game is the cutscene viewer. Nothing really different from the main version of the game itself. Like, honestly, there's no additional cutscenes here. Not that I expected any, because that would be additional work. They've basically just taken the cutscene viewer wholesale straight from the online version of the app and ported it straight here. So the point of changing your unions, again, is just to determine who you will fight in the Keyblade War scenario. So like I said, obviously that's the start. You'll fight Assad, blah, 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 blah. Because we're currently in, I guess, Unicornus by default right now. So yeah, we should see everyone. This will be Gula then. Yep, it's Gula, and then Ava will be on the back. She sure is. Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, but obviously, no gameplay happening whatsoever, so you just get the cutscenes of that. And then if you want to see the Unicornus version of the cutscene, switch to a different union, and you'll get to see Era in there. But yeah, again, your union will only matter for a certain amount of things. Like, it'll only matter for, let's take a stab. Not too much. There we go. No. Yeah, not wrong one. There we go. Yeah, so your union leader should show up in this cutscene right here. And there will be a couple other times where that'll be important, like when Ava tricks you, and when you go through the Corridor of Darkness, then, you know, Era will appear if you're in Unicornus, but it won't really matter that much. Again, it's really sad that there's no gameplay ever going to be available ever again. That's kind of why I'm trying to, like, archive as much as I possibly can on the global version just before it goes away, and I hope someone's done the same thing for the Japanese version, just because it's nice to have. But yeah, this is basically the state of the game going forward. There's a few basically like refund information notices. If you want to go ahead and have a peek through those, like there's basically like, you know, legal terms and conditions, stuff like that, but really not a whole lot else. Obviously the credits again, which you'll be able to view the credits properly when the game gives us back the version of, I didn't mention, sorry, I've recorded this twice now. For whatever reason, the final update to the game has not made it into the theater mode, which again just tells me how little development time they actually had on this. Like I said, I would imagine this version of the app we're seeing right now is, you know, they would have been making the offline mode simultaneously along with the shutdown of the final update of the game itself. So they just haven't put in the links to these cutscenes yet, which is very strange, but whatever. It will be here soon. There's a notice that basically says that it will be here soon. But yeah, Global will be suffering the same fate on June the 29th. So if there's anything you want to do, get it done before then, because really there's nothing much left. This is what our fate will be in 12 short days. So if you want to record just your little key kid running around Daybreak Town, if you want to record them talking, you know, fighting certain gameplay, whatever, get it done, because gameplay wise the game is going completely away very, very soon. But this is the fate that awaits us. And like I said, Dark Road itself will be back apparently in September. So if that is the case, then we'll get a final update then, and the entire campaign for the story will drop in this part of the app here, and it will be playable offline. Now, the cheeky thing is, I'm going to try and... How do I record this? Okay, so I've just pulled the plug on my device, the Ethernet plug that is, and I'm just going to do a test now. Okay, can I go back to the main menu? I can. Can I go back out to the main menu? No. Okay, interesting. So I guess at this point it's still trying to connect to the game itself. So it looks like once you're in a version of the app, you don't have to have any Wi-Fi connection at that point. But if you're in the main menu itself, I guess it's still checking for a potential update when it's in the main menu itself. But maybe that will change when Dark Road itself goes fully offline. And at that point, the entire app will be completely offline. So yeah, I guess you won't. Right now what I'm saying is it still requires an internet connection to get past the main menu. I think once you pass the main menu, you can go into Union Cross itself and view the cutscenes. But yeah, that is essentially the fate that awaits us. Yeah, you can see obviously Dark Road at the top there has stopped grinding as well because we're in offline only mode. But yeah, that's basically it, guys. I'm still working on explaining the entire Union Cross itself. I'm almost done with the script, but I'm kind of like, I want this to be basically one of the final versions of this game of this story explainer that I put out. So I'm trying not to miss anything. The version I'm working on right now is like a really quick overview of kind of everything that's happened from, you know, 2013 to 2021. So I guess if you want to leave me a comment letting me know, like, not so much the ending itself, but you can mention the ending if that is confusing to you, and I will cover that in its own independent explaining the ending video. But if there's anything in particular that you don't get from the Union Cross story, like I would really want to know about it, like key in Union Cross, of course, because I'm really trying to hit all the bases possible in this explainer video without going too long, if that makes sense. So a super quick version that hits everything and leaves no one confused. Yeah, good luck. But yeah, if there's any thing that you want clarified from the Union Cross story, do let me know in the comments, and I'll try and make sure I've included it. I've included a lot. Like I've included everything I think people will get confused about. I spent kind of time on it. But yeah, just to be sure, if you want to give me any feedback, by all means, let me know. But yeah, all the best, guys. And yeah, like I said, June 29th, this happens to Global as well. So make sure you get anything you want to get done in Union Cross done before that point, and you won't meet the same sad fate. But yeah, alright guys, thanks so much. All the best. Bye.